Hi dear students, good morning. In this video session, I would like to continue about our breathing and exchanging chapter. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುನ್ನಾಡಿ video breathing and exchanging chapter breathing mechanism we completed. Breathing mechanism time inspiration and expiration, and there are two steps how that controlling by our muscles, costal muscles, intercostal, external costal muscles, and then phrenic muscles or diaphragmatic muscles that we completed. In the end of that video, I said here lungs are having the several volumes and capacities. Situationally, that volume is capacity of lungs will be differ in the different persons. So in the last what I said, basically one person will respire for 1 minute 12 to 16 times. It is random, not accuracy in the all the time and all the situation. So that difference will be based on that these respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay, let me start today video session. Let's start nana respiratory volumes and respiratory capacities. Here 4 volumes, 4 capacities. First I will tell side headings. One is a tidal volume, and then second one inspiratory reserve volume. Next one expiratory reserve volume. Last in the volumes residual volume. Okay, and then in the capacities inspiratory capacity and functional capacity, functional residual capacity and vital capacity. These based on these volumes and capacities we can able to estimate to find out the any respiratory disorders. Any patient is suffered with the respiratory disorders. What is these capacities and volumes we want to know? See nana. First one tidal volume. The tidal volume, it is a volume of air inspired or expired during the normal inspiration, normal expiration, without your conscious, just nothing but you are doing something on work. In that time also your respiration, not only you, we are all our respiration. So he on the time we are not yet focusing about our breathing. So without our consciousness regarding to the respiration, on the time how much of air will be we are inspiration and expiration, such a volume air, such a quantity of air we called as a tidal volume. See Nana, one more time, the volume of air inspired and expired during the normal, that inspiration or expiration. How much volume were inspiration or expiration? 500 ml. For 1 minute 6,000 to 8,000. Just check it Nana. If you are taking for 1 minute breathing rate 12 times, that indicates 6,000. If it is 18 means 12 to 16 kadana. 16 times means it is indicate 8,000. Okay, that is the tidal volume for 1 minute. Okay, then next one inspiratory reserve volume. Inspiratory reserve volume tells about a maximum value of air that can be inhaled during the forcible breathing in addition to the tidal volume. That means normally you take some quantity of some volume of air, normal condition. Apart of that forcibly how much air we can able to inhale, that is inspiratory reserve volume. See one more time statement, the maximum volume of air that can be inhaled during the forcible breathing. Forcible breathing means sound will come nana. Inhalation time. Okay, forcible breathing in the addition. In the addition, which of the additional value here apart of the tidal volume? How much volume that one? 2,500 ml to 3,500 ml. Sorry, 3,000. Okay, 2,500 ml to 3,000 ml. This is the inspiratory reserve volume. Here shortcut words in the already previous video I said tidal volume mentioned in the TV method, TV. Okay, and then inspiratory reserve volume IRV. IRV means inspiratory reserve volume. And then come to the next one, third one, expiratory reserve volume. These expiratory reserve volume, then a small change here in the definition. Inspiratory reserve volume time we said inhaled during the forcible breathing, correct na? Instead of the inhaled, if you kept exhaled, that will be tells about expiratory reserve volume. See, the maximum volume of the air that can be exhaled during the forcible breathing. Here breathing means breathing having the two steps. One is inhalation, another one is exhalation. First time breathing wise we take inhalation step and here exhalation step. So these exhalation during the forcible breathing in the addition to the normal tidal volume. Normal tidal volume, that is 1000 ml to maybe 11,000. Okay, 1100 or okay, that is the thing. Then residual volume. Residual means we know the meaning about residual. Okay, that some amount of the gas is still present in the after forcible expiration after also. Okay, so how much of volume of air, how much of air is present inside of the lungs after forcible expiration, such a air volume we call as a residual volume. Residual volume. See, the volume of air remaining in the lungs even after the forcible expiration. Forcible expiration time we are forcibly released out our air. I mean lungs onwards, what it is present in the lungs that will be exhaled by the forcible pressure. In this time I will be recall this forcible expiration. This time abdominal muscles also play an important role. Okay, correct na? Internal costal muscles, these and all. So here residual volume, the volume of air remaining in the lungs even after the forcible expiration, that is volume is 1100 to 1200, 1100 to 1200, that is a ml. Okay, one more time, tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. Tidal volume means in the normal condition what you are inhaling and exhaling, that volume we call as a tidal volume. Okay, and then inspiratory reserve volume means a forcible breathing. Okay, a forcible breathing inhaled. Those you wantedly, consciously you are forcible to inhale the some air after the tidal volume also, that addition of the tidal volume. Okay, that volume we called as a inspiratory reserve volume, IRV. Okay, and then expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume means after releasing of the normal tidal volume, I mean exhalation, forcibly how much of air we can able to send out. Okay, released out, such a air volume we called as a expiratory reserve volume. Here a tidal volume is common in the both inspiratory and then expiratory. Along with the tidal volume, forcibly how much of air we are intaking or releasing, that is inspiratory and expiratory. Expiratory reserve volume, ERV, we shortcutly we called as a ERV. And residual volume, by the forcible expiration after also still some of the air will be present, still remains in the lungs, such a air volume we called as a 1100 ml to 1200 ml, that we called as a residual volume. Okay, and then now come to the capacities. Now capacity, here inspiratory capacity. Capacity will tell us about the efficiency of the lungs. Efficiency of the lung based on the inhalation or based on the exhalation. See, first one we kept the name respiratory capacity. Now the definition of the inspiratory capacity, total volume of air. The total volume of the air a person can be inhaled after normal expiration. Normal expiration. This includes that tidal volume. Okay, tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. That means these two kada, tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Here I mentioned inspiratory capacity shortcutly we called IC, inspiratory capacity, is equal to TV means tidal volume plus IRV, inspiratory reserve volume. How much this one? Here inga parna 2500 inga 500, correct na? Or else sometime here 3000 kada, 3000 plus 500. So that's why here how much ml, either 3000 ml to 3500 ml. Got the point na? Okay, inspiratory capacity, sorry, no, inspiratory capacity. Now come to the functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity. In the functional residual capacity, here the total volume of air a person can inhale after the normal expiration. Normal expiration, that includes that sorry, here I changed it, sorry, functional residual capacity. This is a functional residual capacity, pointer place paranga, functional residual capacity IFRC. F means functional, R means residual, C means capacity. Functional residual capacity, the volume of air that remains in the lungs after normal expiration. FRC is equal to ERV plus RV. FRC means functional residual capacity. ERV means expiratory reserve volume plus RV, residual volume. See here one more time, functional residual capacity, the definition is the volume of air that remains in the lungs after normal expiration, that including of that only here I mentioned ERV, expiratory reserve volume with residual volume. Can you say how much this residual volume, how much nana here 1100 to 1200, and then ERV capacity how much 2500 to 3000. So if you are count these one, these 1000, this 2500, or maybe approximately 3500, approximately 3500, if it not 3000, 4000 nana, okay, approximately 3700, like that much of 3700. Here if you take 3000 means 4200 maximum, cut that only na. Here 1100, if you take these and these maximum level 3000, if you take here 4100 it will come. If you take 2500 means if you counted adding with this one 2000 to these 1200, okay, it will indicate the 3700, correct now. So 3700 or 4000 of 200, that is a maximum levels, okay. So because of FRC, functional residual volume capacity is equal to ERV and RV. Then next come with vital capacity. Next vital capacity, inganana pointer place. See vital capacity, VC, vital capacity, the definition of vital capacity, maximum volume of the air, person can be breathed in the after forcible expiration. That means forcibly we released the something gas from the lungs. Now you start to take intaking of air. So on that time how much gas will be enter into the lungs, such a capacity we call as a vital capacity. Now see that statement, maximum volume of air the person can breathe in the after forcible expiration. Forcibly we released something from the lungs, some quantity of some volume of air, then you can retake the air from the atmosphere to inside of the lung. So how much of air will be going to inside to the lungs, that capacity we called vital capacity, okay. Then the another definition of the vital capacity, maximum volume of air person can be breathed out after forcible inspiration. Forcible inspiration after also. Breathe out. Here breathe in. Opposite only na. Opposite, these are two are same. Here can be breathe in here. Here breathe out here. Here forcible expiration. Here forcible inspiration. See that equation only Vc is equal to Tv plus IRV plus ERV. Vital capacity is equal to tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume. It totally indicates vital capacity. Vital capacity. Up to now what we completed on tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume, residual volume completed. The capacity is inspiratory capacity, functional residual capacity and vital capacity. Still one more capacity want to see. The total lung capacity. Total lung capacity. Here by seeing it, by hearing of these word itself, you can get it clarification. Here total lungs capacity shortcutly we called TLC. Okay, TLC. Now see the definition of the total lungs capacity. The efficiency of the lung can able to accommodate the how much of air can able to fill inside, that is a total lungs capacity. Okay, the volume of the accommodate in the lungs at the end of the forcible inspiration. That means by the forcible inspiration we are releasing the something gas, some quantity of gas out. Then when you take how much gas inside, okay, how much gas can able to facilitate to going to inside of lungs, such a volume, that capacity we called total lungs capacity. Total volume of the accommodate in the lungs at end of the forcible inspiration. Here that vital capacity, it includes the vital capacity plus residual capacity. Vital capacity just now only we discussed in what we discussed, Vc is equal to Tv plus IRV plus ERV kadanana. So here see vital capacity plus residual volume, that TLC is equal to ERV plus TRV plus TV. I think by these three combination we called as a vital capacity, correct na? Vc, correct na? So we can able to substitute with these three things instead of Vc. Okay, instead of these three things Vc we can able to see. So Vc plus RV, vital capacity plus residual volume, tells about the total lungs capacity. Now got it kadana? Very most important in the MCQs aspects, I mean NEET aspect. Matching based questions or statement based questions, there is a chance lot of confusion in these capacities and volumes of lungs. So should be properly understand it. If any doubt, ask your doubts through the WhatsApp. We can able to give the answers. Okay, by the explanation you will get something more understanding. Okay, now I am continue the next one. What we are discussing here, breathing and exchanging chapter. In that breathing and exchanging chapter, already we completed human respiratory system completed. We started respiratory mechanism. In the respiratory mechanism, 4 steps are there. 4 steps. First thing, breathing is one of the step. Second one, next one, exchanging of gases. And third one, transportation of gases. Again exchanging of gases. And then fourth one, cellular respiration. These 5 kadanana, recall the previous videos concepts. So then we started in the previous videos, in front of these videos, I mean coming first, I mean what is my intention here, today the one more video we did in the morning session. In that morning session video you got these breathing mechanism, I mean inspiration expiration, how it is controlling by that muscles. Okay, different type of muscles that we see. And next step, exchanging of gases only na. So here come to exchanging of gases. In the exchanging of gases, two gases are exchanging of different places. One is oxygen and carbon dioxide gases are exchanging in the 2 places of our body. One place is at lungs and one more place tissue. Okay, here in between of the lungs and blood, especially alveoli, I used one word alveoli because of through the conducting tract. Conducting tract conducting tract means from the external nostrils to up to bronchioles, tertiary bronchioles, that we called these conducting duct. That conducting duct onwards, alveoli, inside of the alveoli, when it is filled with gas, then that gases want to exchange, especially which gas? Oxygen. Okay, already blood having the carbon dioxide. So in between of alveoli and blood, first exchange will occur. And one more thing, when the oxygen is exchanging into the blood, through the blood transportation, oxygen blood will be reach the tissues. In the tissue places also it want to exchange. In the tissue places carbon dioxide is there, carbon dioxide come to the enter to the blood, and blood, oxygenated blood onwards, oxygen will be entered to the tissues. So exchanging of the oxygen and carbon dioxide gases and the different places at alveoli and then tissue places between that blood and that places, in the process of the simple diffusion. In the process of simple diffusion. Okay, here one more time, here exchanging of gases. Here in our body, two places occurs that exchanging of gases. The exchanging gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide. First place in between of alveoli, I wrote here lungs, alveoli to blood, and then after transportation, when the oxygenated blood reach the tissues, tissue places also in between of the blood and tissues, one more exchange, second exchange of gases will occur. So finally these gases exchange in the process of, by the process of simple diffusion. That simple diffusion onwards, how the simple diffusion will affect by the several things. Okay, now here how much fastly diffusion process is happens. Okay, whether fastly or slowly, for 1 minute how much of gases are exchanging, that will tells about the rate of diffusion. So here in this time I will tell one of the example. Here if you take one perfume bottle, if you spray the one room corner very one time, okay, so a little perfume is liberated to one room corner. It want to spread out in the form of the diffusion. Okay, it will take a slow process of, it will take some slow, and then it will take some time to spread out the total room. Now I spray different places, every corner of the room. Now the spreading of the spray particles in the total room itself very fast. So here can you understand now why I said here diffusion process is affected by the, moderated by the different aspects. What are that aspects we want to know? So here that is only for 1 minute how much fastly, the how much speed, by the speed diffusion process is going on, that is totally rate of diffusion. See Nana, here already I mentioned, I think these letters can't able to vision to you. I think something light color chalk I used. Next I will be change it. Pulmonary and systemic exchanging. Pulmonary exchanging occurs at the place of the lungs and in between of the blood. Systemic exchanging at the place of the blood to tissues. Okay, pulmonary exchanges and systemic exchanges. Got it na? Now these diffusion process will be affected by the 5 important aspects. See, one of the aspect is a partial pressure of gases. Second aspect, solubility of gases, the nature of solubility of gases, and then thickness of respiratory membranes, and then respiratory area, surface area, and then distance of diffusion. Already I said, okay, these are the several diffusion is affected by the several aspects, several factors. Several factors is a correct word. Aspect ille several factors. That factors are partial pressure of gases, and then solubility of gases, and then thickness of respiratory membranes, and surface area, diffusion surface area, distance of diffusion. Now one thing I will tell in this video, partial pressure of gases. Here partial pressure of gases means here gas is a mixture of different air containing with a mixture of different gases. Here we are discussing about only the exchanging of the carbon dioxide and oxygen, correct now? So if you inhale the something air, that air present a different gases, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, everything is present, but in lungs oxygen only will be diffused. Okay, so here partial pressure of gases, that is a very most important significant role in the rate of diffusion. This partial pressure of gases, we can able to say one more method also. Already in chemistry you studied in the Dalton partial pressure, in the word you studied in the one chapter in the chemistry, whatever it is. If you take one gas mixture, in that gas mixture 10 gases are present. The 10 gases are creating the pressure, okay, 100 pressure. 10 gases we taken, the total air mixture is creating the 100 mmHg pressure, for example, okay, but each and every individual gas cannot show 100 pressure, okay, individually each and every gas having their own pressure. So for example, I explained like this, 10 gases we taken, the total gas mixture pressure is 100, each and every gas pressure is a 10. Okay, now individually one gas pressure how much? 10, correct na? Okay, so here we should be take consideration of the partial pressure of gases. Which gases? Carbon dioxide partial pressure how much and oxygen partial pressure is how much? That two gases partial pressure only we want to take consideration. Apart of that, not necessary. Okay, so here concentration of gradient in the gases. Which are the things? PO2 and PCO2. PO2 indicates a partial pressure of oxygen and partial pressure of carbon dioxide here. See, in this box I mentioned that partial pressures of gases of different places. If you take respiratory gases in this column, here oxygen and carbon dioxide. In the atmosphere, oxygen partial pressure 159 and then carbon dioxide partial pressure 0.3. Okay, and then when you are inhale something air, that air going to inside of the lungs and reach the alveoli. On that gas mixture, oxygen partial pressure how much? 104. Carbon dioxide partial pressure how much? 40. And then when you coming to the oxygenated blood means alveoli onwards, oxygen will be going to the inside of the blood now. Then that is a 95. In the oxygenated blood, oxygen partial pressure is 95 and carbon dioxide partial pressure is 40. And then deoxygenated blood itself, it will tell one of the clarity. In that deoxygenated blood, carbon dioxide partial pressure is very more, because of deoxygenated blood indicates the carbon dioxide containing blood. So oxygen partial pressure is 40 and carbon dioxide partial pressure is 45. And then in the tissue places, what you seen in the blood, deoxygenated blood, the same thing we can able to see that there is a tissue places also. Okay, in the continuation videos, I will be explain the solubility of gases and thickness of respiratory membranes. These concept we will continue in the, you will get clarity in the continuation videos. In this end of this video, one more time I am concluding here partial pressure of gases. In the partial pressure of gases, gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Partial pressure of oxygen PO2, carbon dioxide partial pressure PCO2, that in the different places of our body and comparing with atmosphere, these are the different partial pressures of in the different places of our body from the atmosphere. Okay, you should be remember these numbers. Okay, in the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide, because of it is a one of the MCQ in the important question, maybe will arise in the NEET question. Okay, let me continue in the next videos. Okay, Nana, thank you.